Hello, everybody, and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobby Richardson, and I'll be your guide for today. Today, I'm doing a Zoom meeting, I'm a Zoom live, sorry, to YouTube. I still haven't figured out exactly how to get these chat bars going when I do the Zoom. So I'm not sure if that's going to work. I was hoping it would just pop up, but I might have to go into my settings. So sorry, guys. But we can get into this reading anyway. So today's topic is all about signs that you've been on the signs that you are on the best path. And we're going to go through the inner adjustments and the outer reflections and then the world's movements. So we're going to go through all three of those things. Now, I'm just going to press this. Lots of pressing buttons. And let me get into the zone. So huge changes happening at the moment. And what I've decided to do, and I'll probably just go straight to YouTube for this because I really want the chat bar on for this one. On the 4th of the 4th, 2024, which is obviously 4444. I am going to do like a long session, like 2 hours or even more, and see how we all flow with that. And I really want to connect with you guys on the imagination uprise. So that's what I want to call it, the imagination uprise. And that is to do with really putting our focus in on what do we want to actually bring into this world, and seeing what starts to develop. What would we like to see next? What would we like to see in our future? What would we like to see as our new earth, utopia on earth? How would we like to feel? All of those sort of things. So we're going to talk a lot about that, and I'm going to bring through my team, the CYANIANS, the Acrturians, the Pleiadians, and we'll do some channel messages on it as well, get their advice. And I want to have a collective thing going on with you guys as well. Plus, I want to send a gratitude vibe out to the person who gave me an amazing amount of $200 US in my PayPal account for a donation. I am so grateful, and I'm going to use that money to advertise my classes so they can get out. And I was wondering where I'd get that money from. So I'm really, really excited about that because the universe applies right. But thank you so much for doing that, whoever you were. Yes, other than that, I am an intuitive counselor. If you do want to book a session with me as an intuitive counselor, and I do live readings and channel messages mainly on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Thursdays is more to do with a little bit more to do with tarot, but mainly my thing is my go-to is channeling, straight channeling, if anyone hasn't seen me. So let's get into these questions, right? Signs that you are on the best path, inner adjustments. Now, signs can come in many ways for you. So I just want to do this broad kind of thing for everybody. Signs are a personal thing. It's a personal thing for you. So when you go out to the world and you have a specific thing that means something to you and you see it random, like you keep seeing it over and over and over again in your outer world, then that is one thing that's meant for you. And if you say to somebody else, oh, if you see 444 everywhere, it means this. Yes, there is a specific meaning that can be held by that vibration, and it usually has that meaning, underlining core meaning, but we also put our own interpretation on the signs as well, and never ever disregard your own feelings and your own interpretations of the signs. So whatever signs that I bring up here, the ones that don't mean much to you or whatever, just leave them for somebody else. But I'm going to try to tap into the collective that's watching this so that we can get this kind of feeling. And the reason why we're doing this is because when we start to focus in on our right hemisphere, our soul's connection, we start to focus in on looking outside for confirmation as well. And so when we're looking for that reflection outside of ourselves for confirmation, that's when the signs and the coincidences start to happen. And then you're like, okay, that's because it's aligning with you going, okay, I'm on the right path, that sort of thing. So the reason why they brought this up now, or they brought this up with me as an idea to do a reading, is because at the moment we're going through a massive transition, and I mean massive. This is a big one, guys. I don't know if you guys can feel it, but and what's happening is the people are starting to pop into it's like a shift that's going from more listening to their logical side and having that dictate, and then a shift that's coming into balance and being more presently living in the moment, but also a shift into realizing, seeing the deception around us, awakening to a lot more that's not real, what is real, and then coming back to self of, well, what means more to me? And because of that shift that's happening with people, it's taking humanity into a whole other kind of vortex of unknownness when it comes to what we've been used to before. And so this unknownness is also exciting because it's like jumping on a plane and going to an unknown country. It's like you've packed your bags and you've got all your mind in the right place now, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to step on board this plane and I'm going to this country. I know the name of it, might have seen a couple of pictures of it, heard people talk about it, but I haven't actually experienced it myself. So that's kind of that makes sense. That's where we're going into now. Years and years and years ago, when they gave me all this information and I went through this whole kind of passage just like this, we're talking 1996 to 1998, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I know where I'm going, I have clarity, I have this still mind. I figured out my life's path. I have to move to Australia. This is my go-to that feels good for me, not to do with what my parents are like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Not to do it. Even my daughter, I knew that she was going to live with me, but I had to take this risk in leaving her because of the court's order to keep her in New Zealand. But she did, and I did see the high school that was in my dream, and she did come over to Australia, and I knew when I saw that high school, absolutely 100% she was going to come over, and she did. She lived with me. But all of these things come into play where you take it's like humanity is going to learn to take bigger risks. Now, with bigger risks, we start to because it's an unknown vortex, we start to want to look for these signs. So this is why I'm doing this now, because of these big shifts and big changes. Okay, signs that you're on the best path. Inner adjustments. They've got me picking up these cards here. So let's go with these cards. Inner adjustments. The signs for you, for the people watching. Inner adjustments, please. What's the inner adjustments as a sign that they're on the right path? I'm not going to shuffle a whole heap. I'm just picking up one. Ooh, nice card. And we'll go into the next, another pile. Another deck, sorry. So the first card that's popped up, I'll give it to you. It's actually a 10 card. So it is wisdom, inspiration, and Akashic records. Whew. So one of the inner signs that's happening for you is that you start, this wisdom will bring in inspiration. It will bring in, oh my God, I really want to do that. That hobby that I always wanted to do, I'm going to do it now. I don't care that it's not going to bring me, the wealth and all of that, that everyone's looking, saying that I should be trying to get money and all that. So I'm just going to do what I feel is right for me. I'm going to give myself space to sit down and work on my poetry, or sit down and do it. It just feels fun and it feels nice and it feels right. And I'm not going to think with my logical brain. I'm going to feel with myself, feel with my inner core on what I really desire to do. Give yourself some space for this. Give yourself some space, they're saying. And Akashic records is to do with your past soul's connections as well. So to tap into the Akashic records is to tap into your soul. So there's usually when we are led to something that inspires us and it's coming from that right place, then and we don't have the logical mind saying, no, you should and you have to, then all of a sudden, because you're moving in that vibrational level of doing that hobby, doing that, whatever that feels good for you, that's when these messages will start to come through from your soul's lineage of your mission that's needed, wanting to break through and gift you. So yeah, one of the inner things that's going to happen for you is that you end up getting inspiration, moving towards that, and then opening up what we would call the Akashic records of your soul, which is just the Akashic record. Connection to your soul. So that's one of the inner adjustments that start to happen. And it's like it's like something that you just, all of a sudden, like, I really feel like lighting candles and going outside and doing things that I always wanted to do when I was a kid. Putting a blanket outside and watching the stars, lighting some candles around me and that sort of thing. I'm just coming up with some ideas here. I really, really wanted to just go along a beach and just find shells and not worry about anything else but just finding shells, just like a little kid looking for treasures or something like that. It's something that's really inspirational for you. Now that will open up this pathway, the Akashic records to your soul. So that's one of the signs that you are on the best path, because you're now starting to move towards something more than what the logic is dictating that should happen for you. You should be doing. And I have to go to work and I have to do this and I have to do A to B and all that sort of stuff, which just brings intention, especially now in these new energies. So the next one that came up from a different deck was called the Medicine Woman Heal. I nurture and nourish my mind, body, and soul. So one of the next signs that's coming up for your inner is that you start to feel healed. You start to, and when you are healed, it's literally, it's so interesting when they bring through. Healing to them is like you are coming into your authentic self. You're coming into your natural self. You're just being you. You're your authentic self. And so to feel healed is literally letting go of something that feels unbalanced, feels a bit icky, feels tension within your jaw, your muscles and all of that. Healing comes from you starting to feel balanced more, and so there's like a serenity that they're bringing up. The Medicine Woman Heal. It's got not to do with you healing somebody else. It's just purely your inner. This is your inner adjustments. You aren't afraid to feel through the emotions either. And when you're not afraid to feel the emotions as they come up, say somebody triggers you, to know that you're on the right path, you, instead of just going, okay, yeah, they triggered me, I'm going to have to stop crying, I'm going to have to stop like feeling this emotion, I'm going to push it over there, I'm not going to think about it anymore. To know you're on the right path would be to say, I'm going to use this because they've pressed a button within me that's now gifted me a feeling that I know I have to shift, a knowing that that button needs to be healed. And so then you can remove yourself politely, go into the bathroom or whatever, and like let yourself express this emotion, like feel into it, but do it in a way that's go have a bath or something or a shower and just sit, you just cry it out and ask to feel into it. Where is it coming from? Why is this feeling within you? Because you can't fix or heal somebody else, but you can heal you. And when you approach that person healed, the trigger doesn't happen. The person probably won't even have that feeling to trigger you. There's the exchange all shifts. Everything shifts because you're willing to look at your emotions, you're willing to look at yourself and use that to move forward. So one of the inner adjustments would be that you know how to do this now. You know that you're on the right path when you are feeling through the emotions and realizing that that's something that's going to gift you the trigger button so that you can look at it properly and heal it. It's going to get what else we got here. I'm going to get my 2 double-decker oracle cards as well. Please, signs of inner adjustments, signs of inner adjustments. I'm feeling a little bit like just combobulated, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? That might come up for you. Am I doing the right thing? Just you asking that question means that you're looking within you. So take a deep breath and stop with, and the mind can be such a subtle thing where it creeps in and you don't even realize it. And you asking that question is literally your logical mind asking, am I doing the right thing? Because your soul knows the right thing. So it's your logical mind that's asking. That's why it feels so confusing. But when your logical mind's asking, it's looking for something. It's looking for a sign, right? It's looking for a sign. And so the signs that might come up would be that you actually get in your car and go for a drive or drop the kids off or whatever it is. And they're saying to me, ask for a sign, like ask for a sign. That is one of the signs, is that you're actually asking for a sign because you are now ready. Your logical mind, when you're asking for a sign, your logical mind is now ready to see a sign outside of it, to say that, yes, I'm starting to listen to the fact that things aren't as they seem from my logical point of view. So yeah, there's also this one that came up. It's time to be a great leader. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is bringing up so much. One of the inner signs that happens is that you start to understand that you are source energy going on a journey. You are somebody powerful within your own right of who you are, and you are accepting that power more and more and more. So one of the signs is that it's not from an ego point of view, because ego is always grasping for somebody to follow them, grasping for someone to control, grasping, there's that feeling. The inner knowing is just a knowing of what your strengths are, who you are, what your ambitions are, what your desires are, and those move you into a place of becoming a guide for others that have similar desires and similar aspirations and all of that. So to feel into, even if it's just through a meditation, to say, I want to feel into the powerful me, then that can be one of the signs that, yes, you are moving towards the right path here, because you're now starting to take note that you are the leader of your own creation. Now, being the leader of your own creation doesn't mean that everything comes in as you desire. Like you could say, I desire to have, I don't know, a beautiful home with a waterfall and a pond and a, goldfish and all that sort of stuff, and gorgeous garden over there. And you've got all this painted picture in your imagination. And if I'm creating my own reality, everything comes to me just so. And then it's not that way, and it does come to you, but it's in a different way than what you expected, or there's somebody else that's coming in that's going to press your buttons, because to really, really acknowledge the gratitude of what you've just created, you need to release something. There could be all these other dynamics that come in. You're also merging with other people's realities. So just like I've brought up before, where you've got the canvas and you've got the painting and you've got your imagination, you've still got the paint, you've still got the friction of the paint and the paintbrush and everything, and it comes out different to your imagination. So remember that to be a guide or to be a great leader, we need to allow it to be the process to develop with those of with things like the choices that you make of who you're going to allow in to your life, and how you're going to receive things. So if there's any buttons there, all of that sort of stuff still has a part to play in the next step. But that card coming up is saying that to know that your inner core, your inner adjustments would be that, oh my God, all of a sudden I get that I am an amazing person. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am more than what I ever thought I was before. And why did I listen to those people in the past? That sort of thing. Okay. Outer reflections. Outer reflections. Now, this is why I broke this up, because we have an inner understanding of ourselves and some of the signs. And then we have the outer, and the outer comes into the material world, what we see. What's the outer reflection? And then I'll go on to the world's movements, because I think that has bearing to the whole humanity's consciousness as well, signs. So outer reflections of signs coming in. Just want to tap in, because they're definitely bringing me to repetitive numbers, but not only that, your name is seen. You see your name in places you never thought you'd see your name. That's another interesting sign, because it's meaning that they're taking me to, it was a movie where there's dreams within dreams within dreams. And when they went into a dream, which is what I've been told we're in, when the person started to become more aware, everyone started to focus in on them. And they made it out to be a real daunting, horrible thing in that movie. But for you to go into the right path, it's like you will start to be seen for your accomplishments. You will start to be seen for your value. You will start to see people will not just reflect the negative side, but also to come in and show you up of, oh my God, I've never had anyone tell me my paintings were good, and all of a sudden I'm seeing people are saying they're good. Why? Because I changed my own reflection of, yes, they are I do deserve to see that my paintings are good, on the outer reflection. So they start to come in and teach you that. So that's another sign for your outer reflection. Outer reflections. Oh my gosh, I haven't even picked a card. They're giving them to me anyway. Another one that's coming up is that gifts will be given to you. It's so cool because I was just given something. And it will be in alignment with you having a good day, you having a feeling of empowerment and the inner alignments, adjustments, and realizing that you're still healing yourself and that's okay. But in those moments that last longer, the reflection will come back as showing up how the world would treat you. So the gifts start coming your way. People start to want to help you to ascend because they see a value in you that if you ascend, then they too or other people can help, can do that as well as your guides, as well as others that have already ascended. Their energy will come into play because you've ascended enough to, at least in that day that you felt really good, to allow them to come through. And when other people who have ascended in that point of your reality, it's kind of like we have all these different segments within us, like they're showing me a mandarin and all these different segments, and one segment might have the abundance button, and then the other a segment might have the compatibility with friends, and then the other one business, and then the other one putting the mind in order, the other one, learning all about your intuition, all these different segments that are within us. And each of us might have healed this segment, different segments. So one person might be enlightened for one thing that they've healed, and then they can come in and gift you something or give you some sort of information, wisdom, or even material things to inspire you to say, yes, you're on the right path, you are ascending, you are letting go, you are healing that point of yourself to move into the right direction. So that's another thing that can happen. See what the cards say as well. Using my Osho deck for this one. Outer world, outer worlds, outer signs, not outer signs for the people watching, outer signs. Okay, one is flipped over in the actual deck. I'm going to grab that and two actually. So we've got three. This one popped out, and the one that popped out was rebirth, and it went in reverse. Okay, a full cycle's just come into play. So it's like it's literally feeling with this one, you might feel vulnerable you might feel vulnerable as you move into these higher frequencies, because there is an unknown path. You are jumping on a plane, you don't exactly know where you're going, or what's going to turn up. But also the vulnerability of restarting again. So in other words, you might have already within the logical mind and learning all about who you were before. You've gone through the sleepy camel, you've gone through the roaring, I'm going to speak up for myself and I'm going to fight against everybody and tell everyone my strength. And then you go on to the innocent, oh my God, I just have to hold my own vibration and play my own flute. And that's all that's needed. And then it all starts again, right? And so here we got, even though we are moving into another frequency, we've got to go back to, oh my God, I feel like I'm tired again and I'm the sleepy camel and I'm not sure exactly which way to go and all of that sort of stuff. And then you might feel that push of passion and desire and strength, and that's the lion coming up. And then you'll go into the higher frequencies of, okay, I've got this now. I am source energy going on a journey. Everyone in my reflection is an equal power to me. So they're bringing that up in reverse, because it might feel like you're starting again. You're stepping on a whole nother, like you're moving away from the steps that you were doing before, and you're going, you're moving up to the steps that's going up to the palace. It's like a whole other game. It's like a whole other, you've gone from one game. I mean, you've done all the levels on that. You've learned all about how logic works in the material world and everything. And then you've gone, okay, I need to bring in a whole nother game. And so it will, when you first start a whole new game, even though it's a better game, even though it's absolutely incredible game, it looks amazing, it's beautiful, it's still vulnerable at the beginning. Also another outer sign. So this is outer signs too. So interesting that they're bringing in games. So as an outer sign of that happening, that rebirth happening, you might find that all of a sudden everything has fallen away from you, that you don't have what you thought you had, that the things that you were holding on, that you thought you had weren't in alignment with you and the new you coming in. But you will always be in the right place at the right time for this transition. This transition is literally really shaking things up for you to be in the right place, the right time. And also the silence card came out. As an outer reflection, you might want to silence the world. I don't want to be part of that outer reflection anymore. I just want to, like, literally, it's not like hermit, but it's just like choosing to silence the logical mind, choosing to silence the TVs, the movies, the things that don't work for you, that sort of thing I'm feeling. And then we have the traveling card. Funny that the traveling card comes in as well, isn't it? You might actually shift location. You might actually move. You might actually feel like going on a holiday that puts you in the right place to meet the right people. Might feel like they're even showing me traveling to a part on your property that you never really usually go to, and setting it up as something that's going to be more in present alignment with your higher feelings, your higher, your more in tuned feelings. So there might be like a corner over there that you start to do a garden with, that you've just gone, oh my God, it looks like rubbish over there. And then all of a sudden you're inspired to clean it up, or a room in your house that's just been a mess or something. So they're bringing up that too, as in with the traveling cards, like shifting your reality around you, whether you're actually moving away from your house, or actually fixing the house, repainting the bedrooms, something like that, something changing up. It's more in line with this new you. Okay, now we're going to get into I'm going to put these back properly. I wanted to get into the world's movements. I want to use the Osho deck again for this. And I also want to, I might actually use tarot, but I also want to pull after that the animal messages. I want to pull in animal messages too for signs, because animals have a lot of signs. So let's get into the world's movements, So this is humanity's collective, as well as just everything that's in your reality as your world. The world's movements. Okay, the world's movements, please, for signs that you're on the right path. That's a cool one. Okay. Had one flip out. Okay, we've got a couple. Oh, it's so interesting what the world's movements are. Okay, so we have the exhaustion cards come out. When this flipped out, I was like, the world's just going to look like the outer world to you is just going to look drab and not so, just a feeling of, oh, here we go again. I'm exhausted with the story. The storyline is going over and over every time I turn on the TV. I have the same story, whether I listen to the news or whether I go into a movie. It's all about heroes and villains and people fighting each other. And being afraid of something new coming in, being afraid of new extraterrestrials because you've got to be afraid of them. All these stories that keep on showing up as fear, and it's exhausting, and it's just like, I can't be bothered with it anymore. That sort of feeling might come up for you because you're looking at the outside world and you just go, I'm exhausted with this story. That's the sort of feeling I'm getting. There's also, these two flew out together, and I'll bring them up together. So we have the politics card of deception that's going to be revealed. So politicians, and I'm going to call it anyone in power that has played the game well when it comes to the logical mind and the outer world and bringing you into victimization and doing their controlling games and stuff, the masks are going to fall. So you're out in your outer world, you're going to start to see through the veil of everything falling. Like their deception will show their true face is actually this. They've been showing you this, and you are going to see this. And you're going to realize, why have I been giving my power away to that? Like, really? So I can see that happening. And that's going to take courage for you, because there's going to probably be people around you that are going to still be holding on to this mask. And then you're going to say, I am my own light. I know where I'm going, and I don't need to follow that anymore. So that is going to show up even more so. Now, I know that a lot of us that are watching would probably say, well, I've already done this, but this is in a bigger way. This is in a way of absolute, and the power that you're going to start becoming. Like, this is a little flower growing out of hard rocks. Like, and they just find one little crack in the system, in the matrix, and they become the light. And so they become shining on this even more, where they can literally see through. They show other people to see through that. So you might end up seeing in the outer world, the world as a whole, people of courage standing up and speaking up and saying the truth. More people really coming in with their light and speaking their truth. And these ones falling, like showing their true masks, showing who they truly are behind the masks. So that's really interesting for the world. I love that. That's totally in line with messages that I've received. Okay. I really wish I had the chat bar. So sorry, guys. I really thought that I could like figure it out. I can't seem to figure out the chat bar when I do lives from the Zoom. Such a pity. Never mind. Might have to do a test run one day and just go stare at the screen for half an hour, figure it all out. Or I don't know, if someone has a link to know how to do that, I would be really appreciative. Yeah. Because I can't seem to figure it out. Any case, let's see what the animals have to say, right, about these signs. Put a comment down below, subscribe and like and all those sort of things. If you like this sort of stuff, it would be really great. Okay, here we go. Signs that you're in the best path from animals. Animals. I love those animal cards. Now, I had a crow coming up to me the other day, so I know that that's one of my signs, because crow comes up to me when I'm moving towards the right goal. So just be aware you might have a shamanic animal that comes to you for signs that is living around, And then remember, animal signs can also come up as pictures, images, movies, that sort of thing. They show their presence because you might not be in the country of that actual energy of them being, you know, in your reality. Okay, signs from the animals, please. I don't even think this animal is in this deck, but they are showing me a picture of a zebra. They're showing me a picture of a zebra. Crossroads, zebra crossings, crossroads. Oh, interesting. So there might be, okay, I don't know whether you're going to see a crossroad or something and then see somebody on that crossroad that you know, or, but also zebras, black and white, moving out of the black and white, moving out of that. I'm in the logical, I'm in the intuitive. One day is really good, one day is really bad. Moving out of that, starting to recognize how you can control it in every moment. A couple have flown out, so I'm going to take these two. We have the sea otter, happiness. So one of the signs that the animals are giving us is that you're going to become more happier in your own self. I'm going to show you the picture first. So be the master of playful living. Release expectations and enjoy every day. Let worry go and instead choose love. Surrender to waves. Your good destiny of love is sure. Wow. And this is like a feeling within you, even though everything's crumbling, even though things feel like they're all breaking down, you're not really sure where you're going, you're feeling vulnerable, all of that sort of stuff, but you're having good days and you're having bad days and that. You know that you're moving towards your happiness, and that's because you're choosing your happiness as well. And the other card that came out was unicorn, infinite possibilities. So there could be miracles coming in for you as well as for one of these signs too. That's really tiny way. You are the sovereign, I might have to read that. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. So that would mean that one of the signs comes in is that you start to actually play in the field of the unseen. And that could be like, oh my God, I saw not only a spark fly out, you know, in my peripheral vision, I actually saw it fly across, you know, I actually saw something unusual in this world, like seeing into this unseen veil. And it might just come as lights and little wisps to begin with. But you're going to see more of them. But then the ones that have done the work, they could be seeing UFOs, they could be seeing elementals, they could be seeing, waking up and seeing people who have passed sitting on their bed or other messages coming their way. So there could be an entanglement that comes in between those that are living in the higher frequencies that are right on the edge, and then you're like dipping in, and then you might go, oh, that is a lot, and then just, you know, you might want to just go, okay, that's enough for now. Please always know that you're in control. When I had a lot of visions in my life, and I mean a lot, and the only way that I could really bring them in to give myself value is that I took control of them. I said, that's enough, I need a break, or yes, I'm ready for more. And so, and then they just came in that way. So yeah, you are the sovereign of the unseen, the seen and unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirit of the light. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary. Become legendary. Also, you might see butterflies flying around. That's another good sign that you might see as well. Also, plants, for some reason, plants might grow around you where before you had a hard time keeping them alive. That's another sign that they're bringing up. Specific animals actually coming up to your fence, like showing themselves, or it could be you are pulled towards going for walks through forests and certain trees or something like that. That could be an outer sign as well, because they're bringing the like Earth's like almost wanting to speak here now. She's like showing me sparkles that are on the so beautiful. Like when you see the water and the sun's reflecting the water, and you know how when a little bit of water moves, those sparkles kind of come off the water, and you can just sit there and go, oh, it's so pretty. She's literally telling me those sparks that are coming off where the sun hits the water are like as the life itself, and energy messages can come through seeing that reflection of the sun. So when the sun actually reflects, which the sun is holding messages from source energy, from your soul alignment, and then when it bounces off the water, it might be an easier or a much more calmer way to receive the messages. So you could go into like a meditation by a river or a stream or something, somewhere where the sunlight's hitting it, and then just feel into, like, you can keep your eyes open and then you can close them and then open them, but like they want you to receive the messages from these. They're showing me it's kind of like a pearly color, and they're bringing me to a place called Nawati, which is a Cherokee medicine place. It holds, it's so beautiful. I'm going to have to tell you the story before I leave. I went and saw the elder in America. No, in Byron Bay, I think we were doing a course with her or something. And she came from America to here, to Australia. And we were all going to just do this course, and they hired out this hall. And when I got there, I was one of the first people. So I sat with my girlfriend in a kind of like a lobby room. And I didn't know anything of what was going to happen. I didn't know what she was going to teach. I just knew that we were going to meet, and we were going to be taught something awesome, because she always did. And this bug flew in, and I have never to this day seen a bug like it. I've never seen a bug before it, but it was like a beetle. It was about an inch big, and it had pearly, can't even describe it, pearly iridescent wings like this. It was more whiter, oops, or like a whiter color, like the crystals here, but iridescent pearly color. I'm like, whoa, that bug is beautiful. And it flew right next to me. Then we went into the room, and she started teaching us about healing and healing modalities, and how the Cherokees did it, and that they could bring in Nawati. And Nawati was a ball of this beautiful pearly iridescent ball of white light, and she would use that to help scan your body and heal. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I just saw that beetle just in the lobby next door, the same color is what she was describing as Nawati. So Nawati, they're saying, is within you. Yes, you could see it from a logical point of view as something in a higher place, but everything is within you. And it is, and that's why Earth's bringing up that reflection of the sun on the water. It has similar feeling. It's like a wisdom as well as healing coming through, very gentle, very calming, and brings you into a more balanced place, and to be able to connect with Earth more, to be able to understand the wisdom of that connection. Yeah, so it's all beautiful. Anyways, had to tell you that little story. Okay, guys. I think I'll leave it here, and until next time, don't forget I go live Tuesdays and Thursdays, and sometimes I have the odd messages in between. Definitely on the 4th, which happened to be a Thursday, I'm going to do a very long 2-hour. They want me to do it on the 4th of the 4th. I'm supposed to be working, but too bad. I'm doing this. So if you want to meet with me, and I'll make sure that the chat bar is up, right? So I might not be able to go through Zoom, which I would rather do. Because then I don't have the problems of what YouTube's been giving me lately. Black screen, right? And they didn't have a chat bar up the time before. I'm like, what's going on with YouTube? Anyway, yeah, so until then, guys, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. And don't forget, I'm doing these classes, spiritual master classes. If you want to go on my website, you'll see a little video, inspirational video for it. Really excited and passionate about these classes because it's a lot of information packed in them about what I've been given throughout decades of how to clear my mind, come into balance, move through into these higher dimensions, awaken the ability to channel within you. And I wish nothing but the best for humanity, that they become their own powerhouse, source of power, become telepathic, join the universal language that's everywhere, expands our reality so much that you'll never have to rely on anyone outside yourself because you'll trust who you are. Okay, love you guys. Bye.